Okay, so the goal of this video is to pretty much show you what you should do against a character that does not have DP or meter versus a character that does. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you all the steps you want to take to go in your back turn stance. I'm gonna show you some combo setups, and I'm gonna show you some OTG setups, and that way you could keep applying the pressure. Essentially, you just keep extending your time that you're in your back turn stance. So first, I'm gonna break this video down into 4 sections. It's gonna be, you know, what you should do against a character that doesn't have a DP or meter, combo setups, some neat tricks with the cross up attack, and then at the end, I'm gonna show you what can you do, how do you change your game plan with a character that does have meter or DP. All right, so first we're gonna cover what to do against a person that doesn't have DP or meter. Some of this stuff is common knowledge, but I'm gonna show it anyway for people who don't know. And I'm also explain, because you know I see a lot of my comments, people say they get grabbed constantly, and you gotta look for the visual cues on your character to make sure you're timing your 2D, your cross up attack, and your 2K right. So I got the character to wake up grab. So if you 2D, and soon as if you look at his hip, his little package area, soon as it touches the ground is when you want to go into your cross up attack. So right there, you want to go into your cross up attack. As soon as you see the orange particles fade on your back is when you want to press your 2K. So if you looking for those visual cues, you shouldn't be getting grabbed. If you're getting grabbed, that means you either going into your cross up attack too late, or you're throwing out your 2K too late. So once you just get those visual cues down, you shouldn't be getting grabbed. Now, so I just showed you what you do with 2D, which you could interchange over to a DP, because you know they're pretty much the same knockdown times. It don't really get different until you fighting somebody that got a DP or meter, which I'm gonna show you a little later. All right, so when I throw people, which is the third way to go into your back turn stance and pressure offense, when I throw people, I always whiff a 5H, and there's 2 reasons behind this. One, you send them to DP. One is that it puts me at a safe distance from opponent's DP. This goes for everybody that has a DP except Leo, because his extend a little farther out, so you still have to guess on that one. But as far as anybody else, it puts you at a safe distance from the DP, and it still gives you the ability to attack. So you can attack their wake up and still be at a safe distance from their DP. So let me show you. Let me set the opponent to jump so you can see what I'm saying. So you see, if you time it right, you get them on their wake up, and you can stay at a safe distance from their DP at the same time. So it takes all the guessing away from you and really hunkers down the opponent. All right, I gotta block this, unless they have meter. So if they have meter, depending on which character it is, they could still hit you. But what you want to do in that situation, let's go back to Tyrant Rave. What you want to do in that situation with the things each, and then you counter. So that's pretty much how you cover those options when they're doing that. But yeah, that's some of the stuff you could do if you throw them. A nice little neat trick that I don't usually use too much, but I figure I just throw it in here to show y'all. So when you throw them, and because it's a hard knockdown, you can actually cross up their special and DP and completely stay safe. So let me show you something. So as soon as you see the reversal, you could kind of like dash. You could dash past them, and you could completely dodge their attacks. Same with a DP. Let me show you. Cannon Viper. So if you see that reversal pop out, you could dash past them. It takes the guessing away from you, like I said, but you still got to worry about what if they wake up and throw, which most people do, so I don't use it too much. But it is a nice little neat trick that you could learn just in case, you know. All right, so I already talked about how we get into the back turn stance. Let's talk about what you do against a character that doesn't have a DP and meter. So off the 2D, we already established that grabbing is not an option. So once you start getting them to respect that and they start blocking, you didn't have this situation right here. It's my favorite situation. You put your opponent in a rock, paper, scissors, shoot kind of state, because he's forced to guess 3 options. Let's say I cancel it, I'm +5. He blocked that, I'm +5. I go for the low option. All right, he start blocking low. You can't block low and tech a grab at the same time. So if he wanted to go for the tech option, he'll have to stand up. And if he stand up, you start using the low. That's how that's the first mind game right there. If he start blocking low, you go for the overhead. If he starts teching grabs, you could go for the overhead. So whatever you do, he has to literally guess what option you take. If he don't have a DP and no meter, he can't get out the situation. So what you want to do when you land any of these options, you want to go back to the first section and you want to, put them in that state again until you be able to get the combos off. So boom, boom, back in the same situation. Boom. So if you land the overhead, the low, or the grab, you can always get back into the situation safely if he doesn't have meter or DP. So if he wakes up, block it, you cancel, you go in for another low or go for a grab, or you're going for an overhead. Each situation should put him back into this where you got this advantage right here. Pretty much all the combos you can use, I just showed you one. So if he doesn't block the overhead, you can go with a reset. So you switch sides with him now, and you got the advantage. And you could go in for the 5S, which puts him back in the same situation if he blocks it. If he don't block it, you could go back in for another combo. Another combo you could use. This is a more fancy version of the first combo, but so you could do that. But most of the time I always end it with his turbulence, because it puts him in the OTG state, and that's like my favorite situation to put somebody in, because now if they don't have meter or DP, they gotta really guess. And you get some guaranteed pressure off of the OTG state, but I'm gonna get into a little bit later. So if they block the overhead, what you want to do is kind of to extend your pressure. If they block the overhead, which is the option most people go for, you can cancel it because you're still +5, and it's a true block string. So if they try to mash out of that, anything besides like a special, they're gonna get hit, or a DP, they're gonna get hit. But this is about if they don't have a DP. So if you got this lockdown in, and you constantly having them guess, so now they gotta worry about blocking overhead and then worrying about, oh, is he gonna go for a low, or is he gonna go for a grab? That's pretty much you want to do. You want to, even if they block the overhead or the 5S or the low, you want to put them back in the situation. That way you can keep looping them over and over. It's another combo that I want to talk about, because basically it's certain situations where you're too far away to get the turbulence, because you at that max range. And this situation, it happens more often than not. What you want to do so you can get the person in the OTG state is you want to slide in and use the turbulence like that. It is another situation where I'll go for 2K 2D. And because you landed that while they was in the air, it has a different property. It's not a hard knockdown. Basically, it causes them to instantly tech, which is a good thing because it's another setup that I use for this situation. Let me turn throw one. So basically, when you land this 2D while they in the air, you get the roll. And you time it right. You wait for them to actually roll, the roll animation to kick in, and you hit them as soon as they get up. This is also good for if they do have a DP or meter. I should have waited to show y'all that, but if you get the crossover attack in, you can just switch their inputs. So if they're trying to automatically DP on wake up or special on wake up or jump or whatever, you go in for the cross up attack and they're not ready to block behind them, and basically you're back in your back turn stance with another mix up. All right, so there's one more thing I wanted to show you. So with the buff, so we already discussed that, you know, you could stop them from throwing you if you time it right. So now what you want to start doing is, after you practice your timing with the 2K, you want to start using that buff, because once you use it so fluently, half the people are not going to be ready for it. Yeah, so let's move on. All right, so I already discussed to you how we put them in the OTG state. So here's the options you want to use when a character that doesn't have a DP, and this is guaranteed pressure every time. So what I do is I always go for the overhead because it's what I'm used to. It does the most damage. Some people, they'll use 2K, but that pushes them a little far away, and that's not what I want, because it pushes them too far away. See, yeah, all that pushes them too far away. So that's why I use the overhead, because it keeps them at that perfect distance where I can choose to either go in for my blitz slag, what it's called, whatever it's called. You're going for that attack. So if you time it right, boom, you got them on. As soon as they wake up, they don't have no meter, no DP. They either get hit by that or they block it and you're right in their face. If they get hit, you could go for a special, and it takes like half life. So it's the perfect situation to use if somebody that does not have any meter or DP. So I always go for it. Let me show you what happens when they block it. Recovery. So I set the opponent to block. Let's see. Boom. They block it. They right in your face now. You could get one dash, and you could put them in the rock, paper, scissors, shoot situation if they block it. Or you can go for the buff. So this is the best situation you want to put your opponent in. You're right back in their face. You got the 2S. You could cancel. You could grab him. His grabs do a lot of damage. His 2K 2D does a considerable amount of damage. If you keep resetting the opponent, it's going to add up. And like I said, you can always go for overhead. If they block the overhead, you go for the 2K 2D. So that's pretty much what you want to do against an opponent that does not have any meter or DP. You always want to use the blitz slag and have the guard break on wake up. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the differences between how you should change up your game plan versus a character that does have meter and DP. Just so you're not making the guesses, they gotta make the guesses. Because when you go into it like this and they got meter and DP, you're the one that's have to make all the guesses. So this is kind of to change up the route so they have to guess. So when I do that, that's how I go into my back turn stance. I'll do a close S off the OTG, and what this does is, as you see, they mash grab. If you time your back turn stance right, you could clip them. So if they mash and grab, it really doesn't matter. If they block it, it doesn't matter because you still +2 right in their face. And so this is just a better alternative to go into your back turn stance to take some of the risk off of you. You do have to work on the timing though. As soon as you see them tumble backwards is when you want to do the attack. And how I change up my game plan versus, you know, using my DP, this is where some of the changes come in, because I don't go for my crossover attack at all. I'll go into turbulence immediately, and you're at a safe distance where you don't have to worry about the grab. All you have to worry about is if they're going to DP or if they're going to just jump away. And that's better odds for me, because right then I only have to guess between using my shield and attacking. If I was to go in the other way, I have to worry about, all right, my shield could get grabbed, or if I attack immediately, I could get hit with a DP or meter. So just kind of taking some of the guessing game away from you. So once you do the turbulence, you have enough time to, let me set yeah, pretty much. So pretty much when you use your DP, they don't have enough time to jump away, and they don't have enough time to throw out an attack of their own, because you're going to be faster than they're attacking or whatever they're waking up with. And if they start blocking it, you got the rock paper scissors shoot situation again. So that's pretty much all the changes versus going into your back turn stance. Let me show you what you do when you are in your back turn stance. So how this changes is because we're not going to use this move anymore. I only use that when it's guaranteed. Take this off. So what you want to do when you combo them, you put them in the OTG state. You want to do that, and it's the same principle as before. It's can't throw it. They either have to block it or DP their way out of it. But because you're switching their inputs at the last second, it's kind of hard for a human. The robot could do it easily. It's kind of hard for a human to put those inputs on in one frame. So because that's all you leaving them with. The grab is 2 frames on startup, and you got to put the DP on there on those startup frames. So if you switch the inputs of their character at the last second, you leaving them less time to do a DP or do a special attack, or ultimate. So that's pretty much what I do when I go off the OTG. I always go for this. Now, if they have a DP, if you find a character that just likes to wake up and DP, I'll go for, let's see, I'll go for the command grab. Wake up. No, he didn't wake up with it. Oh, I put it in throw break. That's my bad. So yeah, you go for the command grab, you delay it slightly, and you could cover the DP option. So those is pretty much the 2 routes I take when I fight the DP character. I also use them when I'm fighting somebody that doesn't have DP, just, you know, just to keep mixing the opponent up. It is certain situations you can do when you're when you land this cross up attack, because you added all these new ways to land your cross up attack. It's certain things I like to do on wake up. So say they wake up block. All right, so let's say if they wake up block. Let's say you land a cross up attack, right? You now got this new situation that you're in, and because all the new setups you're going to be using, you're going to be putting your opponent in these situations a lot. So let's say if they don't have any meter or DP, I'll go for this move. So you on wake up, you could get this move in. You could get one dash and a 5S. You can't get a 5K because you're too far away, and I doubt if you're fighting a good opponent, they will let you dash twice towards them. So you could do one dash and one 5S, and you could put them in a rock, paper, scissors, shoot now. So you can either go for the grab, the overhead, etc. You could also on their wake up go for the overhead, which is another good thing. You could also do a command grab if they want a DP. So you still got your same options in the bag, pretty much. So you just constantly want to just keep looping all these together, and you're just gonna have a crazy amount of mix. So like all these situations lead back to each other. So cross up attack, roll, like I said, all that is throw safe. All that's throw safe. So they have to guess which side you're gonna be on. Are you gonna go for the overhead? You gonna go for the low? You gonna go for the guard break? You're gonna always want to keep mixing it up so your opponent never knows what you're gonna do, and you always want to make sure you throw safe. So you gotta work on your timing with the rolls. When they roll, you gotta work on that timing. As soon as you see them tumble is when you want to go for your cross up attack. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. That's what you want to do versus a character that has a DP. If you want to see what it looked like all together, I'm about to just roll you a short clip so you can see what it looks like. All right, guys, so that's the end of the guide. Let me know what y'all think. Sometimes I struggle with getting my point across, but hopefully I got my point across so where y'all can understand it, because I know I'll be all over the place when I'm explaining shit. Thank you for sticking through that. If y'all made it to the end and you enjoyed this, hit that like button. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.